Hey guys, how you doing? Today we are taking a look at Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Minicon Assault Team. Now, this is a combining team. This is three Minicons that each have their own vehicle and robot modes and that merge into one bigger robot. And I have to admit, I am impressed with what Hasbro has done here. There are a little bit of issues and there are some weird just some weirdness going on, but there are a lot of really interesting ideas here. So let's go ahead and get into the figure. We're starting off with this guy in combined mode because that's how he comes packaged. And as I said, overall, it's an interesting figure. I'll save my final thoughts and judgment at the end of the video review. But safe to say, I think the combined mode is pretty good. It's not perfect by any means, but it's pretty good. He even has a combined mode gun. I mean, three different weapons are in this thing. And the gun actually works pretty well. I think this is a well-balanced weapon. Bot mode is the coloring I don't care for. I'll say that flat out. The green on black on yellow with yellow highlights doesn't totally work for me in the fact that you can't really see a lot of detailing on this figure because of those dark colors. The other thing that I find weird is he has no insides. And what I mean by that is he's hollow here in the torso. I'm not sure how well that works, but I mean, my fingers in there are pretty good. Now, that's not to say that other figures don't have that issue. I mean, heck, look at the Generation Seekers. Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp. They all have hollow torsos, and I love those figures. So, I'm not really holding that against him. What I'm going to do next for this guy is I'm going to take him apart and show you how he combines, and then we'll get into the individual figures, and then we'll recombine him. So, to start off with, the first thing you're going to do is take these robot hands that are obviously right here and just kind of spread them out to the side. Grab the front and the back part of the upper body and pull them off. This will be one figure. Then grab this whole torso section and grab the hips and pull them apart. And we have the two other figures. Starting with the legs, all you're going to do is turn the legs around and make sure the legs are combined or come together, and then fold these bits out to form arms, and that's it. And then his weapon is going to be the big middle gun, this guy, and that will actually peg into his hands like that. So he's got this big gun. This is a cool little dude, and his name is Heavy Tread. I like him a lot. I think of all the three, he's my favorite. How big are these guys, or how big are these Minicons? Well, here are the Target Masters, and the Target Masters are about, I'd say, half the size of the Minicons. In fact, the Minicons are just a little bit smaller than basic-sized Transformers from, say, the Beast Wars era. Now, to transform him into robot. Now, to transform Heavy Tread into vehicle mode, all we're going to do is just, take the figure, kind of put it on its back, fold the arms up again, like we were going to do the combination to form the turret. Take these skirts on the side of his legs and fold them up to form the treads, like that. And then collapse the front to get the cattle pushers. And there's the little tank mode. Love this little tank mode. I like this tank mode a lot. No, the turrets don't move, but it's got a little bit up and down movement. But overall, I love the tank mode. Next up is the torso and arms, and this is actually really interesting. So what we're going to do is take the plane and fold it down, and then flip these arms up, and be very careful, because these arms, the ball joints on these arms are just not that strong. So we'll take the arms, unpeg them, and then fold them up, and collapse them, and flip them around. So what I did here was that, and then bring that up. And these are supposed to peg into place, but they do it so loosely, it might as well not even bother. Flip that down, peg everything into place, fold down the robot arms, and then come along the back of the robot and flip down these thruster covers. And here we have his robot mode. It's okay. It's not bad. Little Minicon plane. I could dig it. I think this is almost the same as something from the Sky Saber set in the original Armada series. Now, to get him into jet mode, it's really simple. Flip the nose cone up, take his weapon, which is this thruster unit pack, and that will peg into the back of the plane mode. And then the legs will just fold up and kind of peg into place right underneath it. And then just drop the arms down at the sides, and that's it. Plane mode's not too bad. I think this is a MiG. I think that's what it's supposed to be, like a stealth MiG. I could be wrong, though. But it works. It's not too bad. Would have liked a little bit more paint here on the back, but oh well. Overall, not a bad little plane mode. I don't care for the arms, but oh well. Last but not least is... Oh, I'm sorry. This guy's name's Runway. I never said his name. Last but not least is Shear, who forms the head. Now, to transform him, first we'll unpeg these upper bits that are his arms and open up this section in the back of the vehicle mode and fold up that head. And every time I do that, it pops off the nose cone of the helicopter mode. Excuse me while I fix that. Now that I've recovered the nose cone of the helicopter, we'll take this rear section and fold that all the way out. Fold down the legs, flip out the arms, and fold down the canopy. And that's his robot mode, this little Lith robot mode. You can attach the gun via these peg ports on the side of his arms. So he's got a little minigun on his arms, which is cool. I like that. Transforming him back into vehicle mode. Whoops, I don't have this piece all the way. There we go. Flip up the canopy, then fold the arms back, but don't peg them into place yet, because you flip up the legs, and there are little pegs here that you want to slide his inner legs into to peg them into place. Then you can bring these sections down, and these will peg in just above the legs, fold out the tail rotor, and then open up the propellers like that. And I swear this the one major nag I have against this is this canopy section does not want to stay attached. And then you attach the gun like so. Overall, the assault team is a pretty cool little team in vehicle mode. I like the plane, I like the tank. The helicopter's okay, but I really like these two guys. Like I said, that one's okay, but I can deal. Overall, though, a solid set of minicons. As I said, these guys are pretty cool, and I like the fact that they're not all the same size. I appreciate that. And in and of themselves, they're pretty nifty. I mean, they're genuinely pretty cool little minicons. And I love the fact that each one of them has their own distinct head sculpt. It's going to be really hard to zoom in on these, so I'm going to do my best, but each one has their own head sculpt. I really do appreciate that. Hasbro really didn't try to cheap out on anything. I especially love heavy treads. It's like, I am a scientist, and I am in the science of kicking your butt. So now that we have taken a look at each one individually, let's go ahead and get them merged up back into their combined mode. We're going to start off with heavy tread, and the first thing we're going to do is simply fold the arms forward, turn him around, and, well, that's about it. We'll split the legs apart here in a minute. Then we'll come around to Runway. Then we'll come to Runway and actually turn him upside down. And I like to just put the arms behind his back, fold out the nose cone, and then that will allow us to come in here and unfold the legs from the body and fold them until they can't go anymore. They're actually little grooves that they peg into. I don't know how well that's coming up, but there are little grooves there. And then you fold the arms in, and they are supposed to peg into place. Mine pegs into place, but very, very loosely. Then fold the legs down, or now the arms, and flip these thruster covers up to have four arms. Flip the nose cone back up, and then I like to take the hands and just kind of put them so that they're pointing to the armpits of the arms. And then the head will go right into forming the crotch. And that should peg into place, like so. And it should peg in somewhat tightly. So then you can fold the nose cone down a little bit. Now, for the last guy. First thing to do is fold up the canopy, then fold the blades together, open up the rear of the helicopter mode and fold out the combiner head, like so. And when you do that, just be a little bit careful that you're going to push the canopy down again. And there's another Minicon symbol. And bring the canopy closed. Now the arm, dang it. See, this is the one real problem, as I said, that I have with this set. Now, for the arms. These are the robot arms. There are actually a set of pegs that you fold the arms up to, and those will peg into place up there. And then the legs and the tail rotor, just put the legs far back as they will go. Now the robot mode, or the helicopter head mode, will peg in right there. And there's a little hole underneath the canopy for the nose cone to peg into, like that. Then we turn the figure around and fold up the legs and fold down the tail rotor, like that. And that will peg into place on the back of the plane mode. And here we have the combined mode. Now we can split the legs apart. And as I said earlier, I like the combined mode. Now the other thing you could do is just bring the hands in. You're supposed to be able to lift this whole section and have the arms just sitting under here, but I've found that to be more problematic. So it kind of works sometimes, but you can't get the head down all the way on my figure. So you can hide the arms up underneath the helicopter. Sometimes I just have them out to the side because I think it looks cooler. Now, as I was going to say before I interrupted myself, the combination of the weapons is pretty nifty. Take the cannon here, the little bits here. Now you can either have it up like this, or you could turn it around and have it just sit on top like that. I actually like to have the cannon between the thruster bits. I just think it looks cooler. And then the minigun on top, and there you go. And he can hold it with no problems. So poseability-wise, head does not move. Shoulders kind of move because they're not supposed to, but they are on ball joints. Then you've got at least 90 degrees there at the elbow. Fists do not move. Legs, there is articulation, but you have to be a little bit careful because of the kibble here on the back that you can move to the side just to get around it for a little bit if you want to give him in a weird pose. But otherwise, I think this guy's pretty solid. Like I said, there are a few minor issues, but I think this guy is solid and definitely worth having. He's probably the coolest Minicon combiner team out there. You have the street team and then the street team from Energon and Armada. But otherwise, besides the weapons, I can't think of any other Minicon combiners. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video review of Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Micron Assault Team. I think he's worth picking up, or I think they are worth picking up because, well, they're just fun. And, I mean, come on. He has a Minicon face for a butt. How can you say no to that? So guys, I've been Spade of the Baltmatrix, and I'll catch you next time.